Well, they're not alone. There's me when I had just a little more hair. That's me. And why am I showing you a picture of my mother and father? They've been married for 43 years. They have the best marriage I've ever observed in my life. I'm not saying they have the best marriage in the world. I'm saying they have the best one that I have seen. Year over year, they love each other more. Year over year, they argue less. An example is in 2005, I took my father to Egypt. And we were in the Valley of the Kings. We were about to go into King Tut's tomb. And I said, Dad, can you believe it? We're going to go into King Tut's tomb in the Valley of the Kings. And my father did something he did through the whole trip. He went, yeah. You know, your mother's pouring her first cup of coffee right now. And I looked at him and thought, well, people who are newly married don't miss their spouses that much. How do they do this? So I asked them this. And people who know them ask them this a lot. They say, how do you get along so well? And they say we celebrate each other's differences. We're very different people. So I used to get very annoyed with your mother almost every time she spoke. And she would get annoyed with me almost every time I spoke. And now we celebrate and laugh at those differences. So our arguments may last 30 seconds, and they usually end in laughter. When I looked at some of the operational challenges that existed between some of we have other clients we have Indian-owned clients operating in North America and in other countries. And we also have North American clients operating in India. Our managing director, who I'll tell you more about in a moment, Christopher Doyle, is Indian. I am North American. We also have to work with a captive Indian operation in a North American-owned firm. So we're very close to some of the challenges that you may be experiencing in communication. And I would assert that some of these communication challenges come from not celebrating differences, but being very frustrated by them. And what we would recommend to your North American partners, and what we would also recommend, and I will recommend to you today, is that you find ways of celebrating these differences. I have to remind people in America, because we have clients operating in over 140 countries, that we are about the youngest of any of the countries that they operate in. So they have to respect cultures that are more established. Does that sound fair? At the same time, no matter how old a culture is, if they partner with a younger culture, they also need to make adjustments. So I thought about business examples, and on Sunday, when I was preparing for today, the best example I could come up with to illustrate this was my mom and dad. So there they are.